Coming up on News 2, an island-wide power outage left St. Croix in the dark on Saturday. Officials say a heavy power surge disabled generating units at the Richmond Power Plant. 6 contestants graced the stage for the competition, and in the end, Derisa Greaves stole the Carnival Queen crown. Plus, as we reported, Waste Management Authority enforces cutbacks in trash collection, and residents could also be looking at additional fees at the end of the year. Details. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping on Newscast, St. Croix was without power for more than 14 hours Saturday. Electrical service wasn't restored until Saturday night. Throughout it all, though, government officials and WAPA's team provided updates during the blackout. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
WAPA crews worked around the clock Saturday to restore power to St. Croix. The entire island lost electricity around 5 a.m. when WAPA's Richmond Power Plant experienced a surge.
We had a fault in the switchgear that controls our station service. This fault caused a surge, which also damaged parts of the bus. And the bus is where we interconnect the generators to the bus, and then we connect to the substations, and then we go to the customer.
WAPA's emergency phone line and dispatch were also affected with Saturday's blackout. Wanlouis Hospital's backup generator experienced problems as well.
The issue that existed did not have to do with the generator itself, but mainly to the fuel line.
Wanlouis Hospital was without power for several hours Saturday, but the CEO says the patients were never in any danger. In fact, the most critical of them were moved here to the cardiac center.
The VICC has rooms that are ICU ready, so we actually transferred the ICU patients to the VICC. And so care was never compromised.
WAPA and Wanlouis officials both kept Governor Mapp abreast of the situation. The governor visited the plant, toured Wanlouis Hospital twice, and held a press conference Saturday to update the public.
Roughly a little after 4 this afternoon, the generator system at the Wang F. Louis Hospital, with the assistance of personnel from the Water and Power Authority, private electrical contractors, and the hospital maintenance crew, were able to restore and bring the hospital generation systems back online.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
The outage affected WAPA's water customers who lost service Sunday because of low pressure, but they were also restored. Innovative's Evo network experienced problems during the island-wide outage, but innovative crews worked all day to bring customers back online. Well, St. Thomas is celebrating because it has a new Carnival Queen 2015. This weekend, the Lionel Roberts Stadium was filled up with fans, friends, sponsors, and family who not only enjoyed the show, but had its breathtaking moments during the culture wear category and talent show. All the young ladies did a wonderful job, but there was only one winner. Here's more.
Hundreds of people gathered this weekend at the Lionel Roberts Stadium to enjoy St. Thomas' most important beauty pageant of the year, Carnival Queen 2015. Among cheers of support, the 6 candidates presented with dedication, determination, and professionalism according to the category, from the presentation to the swimsuit presentation to the evening dress. Because of its creativity and originality, culture wear was highly graded category, while the talent portion encouraged people to express their support for their candidates. In the end, all the contestants paraded and developed themselves with style. But Derisa Greaves emerged as the winner, becoming the new Carnival Queen 2015. Reported for News2, Erika Rom.
And the very next day, it was the Toddlers Derby, traditional games and best dressed as a doll competition with 7 adorable little dolls. The winner of Group 1 was Sarai Amori. Gabrielle Akala Ba was the winner of Group 2. Congrats to Daddy Julian Barr, our very own. In the Toddlers Derby, there were about 38 races. The young ones crawled, the older ones ran like champions. The day concluded with the traditional games, fun and games from the past.
I got lost. Yeah, I've been here last year. It's fun.
Some of the young ones talking about how much fun they had. Now, Carnival fun continues. You can join the cruise ship guests with a mini carnival schedule at Crown Bay Plant on Tuesday from 10 to 6 p.m. featuring a selection of native delicacies, arts and crafts, live entertainment and music, including steel pan and mukajumbis, a mini parade which begins at 5:30 p.m. Admission is free. Crown Bay Carnival, presented by Virgin Islands Port Authority and Crown Bay Center. Also, another opportunity to celebrate with passengers for the 3rd consecutive year. Cool Sessions Brass of St. John will be the evening's entertainment at the West Indian Company's community concert. A Carnival Jamboree is in store from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 21st on the dock. The Carnival Breeze will be in port at the West Indian Dock from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. In other news, the federal grand jury has returned a 12-count indictment charging Taquan Anthony Joseph, 23, Jamoy Kadeem Karasp, 22, Damari Jacoy Heilaga, 22, and Calvia Lake, 20, with federal and territorial firearm offenses. Joseph was arrested Tuesday, April 14th in Atlanta, Georgia, and is awaiting transportation to St. Thomas. Caraspo was arrested Tuesday, April 14th in White Plains, New York, and is also awaiting transportation to St. Thomas. Heilaga was arrested on Wednesday, April 15th on St. Thomas and is detained pending a detention hearing and arraignment. Lake was arrested Tuesday, April 14 on St. Thomas and was released on bond. Her arraignment also scheduled Friday in district court. According to the indictment, the 3 men and 1 woman conspired to unlawfully mail firearms from Florida to St. Thomas. The arrest of the 4 individuals resulted from a joint investigation by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service after the U.S. Postal Inspection Service intercepted some of the packages with firearms. Traffic investigators are continuing their investigation into a Saturday afternoon fatal car accident that occurred on the Queen Mary Highway in the vicinity of the Virgin Islands Waste Management Complex. The driver of the vehicle was identified as 22-year-old Makil Felix. Officers discovered that the vehicle had struck a tree and broke apart in several pieces, rendering it almost unrecognizable. Felix had been ejected from the vehicle and was found in the brush along the roadside. Once the ambulance arrived, the EMTs found no signs of life. VIPD received some criticism, as well as the FBI, for the pace of the investigation by New Jersey Senator Robert Menendez last year. In this case, however, on Friday at 5:30, Makil Blash, 27, of Nada, was arrested and charged in connection with the January 19, 2014 murder of James Malfetti. Blash was charged with 1st and 2nd degree murder, 1st-degree assault, 3rd-degree assault, use of a dangerous weapon during the commission of a crime of violence, grand larceny, and 1st-degree burglary. That homicide occurred in Chocolate Hole, St. John. No bail was issued for Makil Blash by order of the Honorable Judge Kathleen McKay of the Superior Court. Police on St. Thomas are thanking the public for its assistance in locating Kiara Foy, a runaway minor that has ran away, they say, from home several times. She's been located and returned to a home. Kiara Foy had last been seen on April 13, 2015, when she was dropped off to the Charlotte Amalie High School at approximately 7:45 a.m., had not returned home or had been seen since that time. Again, Kiara was located and returned to her family this past weekend. No other details surrounding her disappearance and subsequent location were made available. Senator Tregenza Roach flew to Colorado on Friday to join Senator Terrence Nelson's exploration of the state's cannabis industry. According to Roach's office, he will be meeting with legislators, health officials, and law enforcement executives there with regards to the economic growth brought by the industry. Senator Nelson embarked on an exploratory medical cannabis expedition in the states like Colorado that legalized marijuana. He left on April 13 to meet with top officials, gather some information, and discuss the strategies that could assist the USVI in duplicating their success in legalizing and implementing the industry in the territory. Meanwhile, across the country and around the world, marijuana enthusiasts are celebrating the unofficial Weed Day, which falls on April 20th. April 20th has long stood as the unofficial day for counterculture celebration of cannabis. The widely accepted significance of April 20th dates back to a ritual that began in the early 1970s in which a group of Northern California teenagers smoked marijuana every day at 4:20 p.m. News of the ritual spread and expanded to a yearly event in various places. Soon, marijuana aficionados were using 420 as a code for smoking marijuana. Keeping our eye on the economy, here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. As you can see there, the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P all up. The Dow 208, NASDAQ 62, S&P 19. Coming up on News 2, as we reported, Waste Management Authority enforces cutbacks in trash collection, and residents could also be looking at additional fees at the end of the year. Details coming up next. The VI Waste Management Authority recently announced cutbacks in the number of days a week that those waste management trucks will be coming to your neighborhood to pick up trash. But that's not the only change forthcoming from the authority. You're also looking at potential new fees related to trash collection. News 2's April Knight has more.
In the middle of budget cuts and efforts to reduce the territory's waste output, the VI Waste Management Authority is working on levying a set of new fees. At the top of the list is the special waste fee, which would help the authority get rid of illegally disposed items.
We're talking about scrap metal, fluorescent bulbs, scrap tires, used oil, e-waste. And things of that nature. We find a lot of that being illegally disposed of.
But the taxes will be taken at the point of import, meaning local businesses that retail goods like tires and appliances will have to pay taxes for them, and those costs will have to be passed on to their customers.
We're working with them on that right now. There has been some concern, so we're going through the process with the PSC and the various vendors and concerned public. So we're going through the standard approval process to work with them to try and find solutions.
And then there's the tipping fee, to be paid by permitted haulers who bring their waste into the landfills. According to Waste Management, the fee will help them recoup disposal costs. The third fee is the residential collection fee. If you dispose of your trash via the now weekly curbside collection that Waste Management does, you'll have to pay a fee for that service every year.
There's a reasonable set of fees. The impact is not that large to the general public when you look at over the course of a year.
Now, all of the fees are still either in the review or the drafting process. Waste Management officials said the community will get a chance to throw in their 2 cents before the fees get implemented. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
And again, those fees have not yet been approved, and the public will be invited to comment. You can go to www.viwma.org to get in touch with VI Waste Management. The price of gas remains unchanged this week, still the lowest in years as Hovensa tries to empty out its tanks. Local gas retailers buying directly from Hovensa can expect to pay the following prices. For regular fuel, it's $2.13 per gallon. For premium, it's $2.34 per gallon. And for diesel, it's $3.31. That includes the government tax of 14 cents per gallon. Those prices are effective until April 26. The Zeta Phi Beta sorority singled out 7 students and 1 company Saturday night during an awards banquet at Gertrude's. 7 local students and innovative companies were all honored for their work in the community. They were presented with Service Above Self awards.
It was not about GPA or grade point averages. It was about what they do. Those students who are not afraid to get dirty, they go in and they make a difference. That's just that commitment being there to give back. That's what we were looking for. This year is deemed the year of the youth, and many times we overlook our youth. And many of our students are doing wonderful things in the community, and we decided to honor the youth. And Innovative was honored this year because of their commitment and their dedication to the youth of our Virgin Islands.
Congratulations. St. Croix island-wide power outage Saturday didn't stop one group of youngsters. About 50 students tried their hands in the kitchen for one of St. Croix Food and Wine's final events, the Kids Cooking. Two local chefs worked with the students, teaching them how to roll sushi and make their own salad dressing.
I have been here last year and years before, and I have loved this. I have a dream of being a chef when I'm older.
We made sushi and salad dressing.
I liked when we made the sushi, when we wrapped it all up and had to put the rice on.
The part that was fun is that I got my hands all sticky.
This is our signature event, and we love it because, you know, we have kids that come out. It's a great family event. Parents get to come out with their kids. They get to make healthy, nutritious meals, and we use local ingredients. So our students are exposed to great cooking, things that they can do that's very simple, and also the importance of supporting our local farmers.
Meanwhile, hundreds of guests made their way to Anne E. Abramson Pier in Frederiksted on Sunday for the Sunset Barbecue, part of the St. Croix Food and Wine experience. Local and celebrity chefs paired with students from the St. Croix Career and Technical Education Center's Culinary Arts program for an evening of fun, music, and great food. Celebrating its 15th year, the St. Croix Food and Wine experience has been named a top 10 international event. As we reported last week, many in the territory celebrated Week of the Young Child. Lieutenant Governor Osbert Potter kicked off Richmond Head Start Center's annual Week of the Young Child by reading several stories to preschoolers on last Monday. They ranged in topics from local fruits to the 5 senses. The students serenaded him with several songs. Also at Antilles School, the Dancing Classrooms program was spotlighted. It teaches 5th and 8th graders the basics of everything from waltz to swing while integrating life skills such as lessons in teamwork and etiquette. On Thursday, 5th graders gathered at the Marksy Marine Center for a presentation that gave everyone a chance to see what they learned in the past 7 weeks. Now, finally, students from the Charles Emmanuel School also celebrated the Week of the Young Child with activities every day last week. Some of those included flying kites and a puppet show. High schoolers from the educational complex read to the primary students for Community Read Aloud Day, and many parents had breakfast with their children. The big event was a book character parade Thursday from the school to the Superior Court. Employees left their offices to cheer for the students. Congratulations to all the students celebrating Week of the Young Child. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.